What's going on, guys? G2 here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to give you a quick fix for those of you who may have an LR308 or an AR10 suffering from bolt hold catch open syndrome. It's not uncommon. We all get it. It happens. Here's how you fix it. So I noticed this happened to me when I went to the range. Got through, the gun cycled great. We got to the last round in the magazine and the bolt hold catch didn't catch. So I took the magazine out. I tried it with the bolt, and you can see right here on screen, even depressing the bolt hold catch, it did not catch that bolt. It was barely edging it. And I was afraid for a couple things. One, I'm going to shear off my bolt catch. Two, I'm going to damage my bolt. And I didn't want either of those things to happen, so I took it home. I watched some videos on YouTube, and I got terrible advice. The videos out there, I'm just going to tell you, don't watch them. They work, but they are a terrible workaround for something like this. What I'm going to show you here is a simple, easy method to at least start off. I'm urging you all to start with my method first, and if it doesn't work, then maybe experiment into some of these other methods, because these methods that are on there immediately have you grinding away material, modifying the bolt catch, modifying your receiver, modifying your upper. All these are terrible ideas. My solution cost $7 and 5 minutes. Here's how we did it. Okay, so before we start messing and taking apart pieces and modifying them, I went and I bought an Aero Precision bolt catch for 308. I also bought this is a V7 weapon system. You see that? Bolt catch. So I wanted to try a couple different bolt catches in here. I also bought, I thought I had extras, but I didn't, just a spring kit, because I want to check the spring in here as well to make sure we're using the right spring. So before we start modifying and doing things that are totally irreversible, well, let's make sure it's not the part by messing around with some other parts. So the first one, I guess the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this old one out, and we're going to look at the spring and see, do we have the right spring in here? Because it feels a little, I mean, to be honest, it feels a little, could use a little work. So let's check that out first. All right, so over here is what we had installed. We've got our bolt catch, we have our plunger, we have our pin, and then we have our spring. Now over here are our replacement parts. I've got another plunger, I've got another pin, and then you'll see there's two springs here. And this is what I wanted to show you guys, is the two springs are pretty similar, however, they're totally different from each other. So what I wanted to make sure was this pin here, which is used in the trigger system, is a little bit different than this pin, which is used for the bolt catch. You can see on the bottom here there's a little bit of a flare. Now, I wanted to make sure that this spring was not installed in here. Thought I would, just to make sure. So this is the spring we should be using. So I'm going to put this back in the kit. Okay. That was just show you guys, just in case. Now here's our original, and this is the one we had installed. So here's our spring that we had in currently, and this is the replacement. You'll see they're a little bit different in color and size. I would say this one, the new one from the kit, is just a hair smaller than the one that was currently installed. So I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but let's look next at the plunger. So here's the plunger from our kit, and here's the plunger that we had installed. So you can see they are pretty much identical. So I think we can determine that it's not the plunger. So we're going to put the plunger back into our kit. Let's look at our pins. These should be irrelevant, but let's just take a look
we've got our original and our kit. They're both the same. They both are fine. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this anyway, because the threads on, or the right here on this is getting a little worn. It was a little hard to get this out because it wasn't catching quite as nicely. So I'm going to get rid of this. So it leaves us with our bolt catch. Now, in an attempt to fix this, I did modify the bolt catch. You know, I took some off of here on the bottom because I thought maybe it wasn't pushing down. I took some off here on the side because I thought maybe it was hitting the top. I had no problem modifying this because this is an easily replaceable part. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the arrow bolt catch first. So looking at our arrow precision bolt catch, we can see, obviously you can see what I had taken away, so there's a lot there, whereas this doesn't have as much. It even looks like this already is sitting, if we put it like that, you can see all of that. It's hard to set it up. I don't know a good way to orient this. This is probably better. So if we sit this flat, you can see how far back this arrow precision bolt sits in relation to that one. If they were the same, all of this material would be gone off the one that we have. So let's try this first, because I think what's happening is this part is hitting the upper. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put our old one to the side and we're going to install our arrow and see if that fixes our problem. So we've got our arrow in. It already feels, I can tell you that it's moving a lot better. The spring feels a lot better on this. Now let's put our upper on with our bolt and see if we get a catch. So here we go, moment of truth. I can tell you this is already moving way further than it did with the other one. So I'm feeling good. And we get a perfect catch. Now if you can see there, that bolt catch is holding the bottom two lugs perfectly. So this is not gonna release. Okay, and we can press our bolt catch back and the bolt fire slams home. Just to show you again, we're gonna do this and hold, and we're good. Now our final test is to check this with an empty mag. So we have our mag in. Now this should, when we place this back, should lock our mag or bolt hold back, and it does. Now we want to make sure that it's in fact holding on the bolt catch, which it is, which means we should be able to eject our magazine, which we can, and the bolt hold stays open. So there's your fix. So ladies and gentlemen, that's your fix. All we used was a different bolt catch. We got one that was specifically designed for arrow precision. It worked with a arrow type lower and an arrow upper. The one that we had installed, I'm not sure. It came in a lower parts kit that was not an arrow precision kit. So if you're having issues with your AR10 or LR308 and the bolt hold catch, not catching your bolt and holding it open, spend a couple bucks, buy yourself another bolt hold, maybe two, and see if that's your problem first before you start messing with your upper. Now there's some videos going around where to fix this problem, people have basically notched out, I guess it would be this side of the receiver because the bolt hold was hitting that. I can't express to you how bad of an idea that is. as a last resort, possibly, but the tolerances on these, although they can be finicky, you should be able to make it work without huge modifications, especially to your upper and your lower. So I guess moral of the story here is check your part first before you start doing things that can't be undone. For us, it was a simple replacement part, which cost me $7, and I didn't have to grind away my upper, which would have never been the same. I didn't have to, hindsight 2020, mess with this, which I did, which was a total afternoon wasted. I just got the new part. Now this is trash, and I still have one extra here, which I can put into my extra parts kit, and everything's good. So I hope this helped some of you out who may be having this problem with your LR308 or your AR10. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below. Until next time, make sure you're practicing safe weapon handling at all times, treating every weapon as if it was unloaded, and you're educating your family, your friends, and your shooting buddies on that as well. God bless America. G2 out.